So for this tutorial, I'm going to do wall sliding and jumping. I got the code from another channel called Game Code Library, and the video is called Wall Jumps and Wall Slides. So I'll show you how it works first. You can walk around, run around as usual, but as soon as I press jump onto the wall, I can jump again, so I can jump off the wall. So I slide down with the slide animation, and I can have two of these. Oops. Just by pressing jump, I can go side to side. So that's a pretty cool functionality. It's a pretty common thing, I guess, in 2D platformers, so I figured might as well try and learn how to do it. So the first thing that I did was, with the player selected, I went into animation and, whoops, I pressed create new clip, and I created this ledge climb. Oh, not ledge climb, sorry, wall slide, and this wall slide is 1 frame. So if I go like this is what the drawing looks like. Then it automatically creates an animation inside the animator. So I have the wall slide triggered either from jump or movement. It's usually when you're jumping on a wall, you're going onto the wall from a jumping state, so it would make more sense to go from jumping, but I also added it to movement as well, just in case, put it on both. So is wall sliding is true, that's what triggers it, and then once the is wall sliding is false, it fires back to movement. So that's the first thing. Another thing too, I need to create an empty object called wall check. You can't really see it here, but if I go like this, you can see this little blue square. That blue square doesn't appear when you create the empty object, but I'll show you how to do it inside the script. So this is basically what's going to detect the wall. So first, before the jump, I'm going to do the wall slide first, and the variables that you need are these top 6 or top 5. So public transform wall check position, or wall check POS, public vector to wall check size equals new vector 2 and 2 values of x and y. Here I have 0.49 and 0.03. Public layer mask wall layer, public float wall speed equals 2, or wall slide speed equals 2, and a boolean is wall sliding. And when that's created, it creates this field, wall check position, so you just have to drag the wall check over here, which is the transform, and under the wall layer, obviously you have to check wall. You have to make sure that all your wall objects are set to wall, and if you don't have it, you go to add layer and create one. So I put it in layer 6. So for wall check, or wall slide, I created a method called process wall slide inside update, and the update keeps on firing this, and it goes here. So inside process wall slide, I look for condition. If wall check is true, then If wall check is true, then is wall sliding equals true. And the RB velocity is new vector 2 RB velocity x, which is you're keeping whatever velocity the x is, because we're not trying to move it left to right. We're just trying to make it move up and down. So that's why this is here for the y. Mathf dot max RB velocity dot y minus wall speed, which was 2. And then animator set boolean is wall sliding. So that's the one that I just showed you, which is basically this. And if wall check is not true, is wall sliding equals false. And animator is wall sliding is set to false. So this wall check, this condition, is set by a private boolean, not a private void, but a private boolean wall check. And it basically checks whether this wall check, which is dumped in here, wall check position. So physics 2D dot overlap box wall check position dot position wall check size 0 wall layer. So if this returns true, then this fires. If it's false, then this fires. And also, in order to make it visible, you use the private void on draw gizmo selected, gizmo color, gizmos dot color equals color dot blue, gizmos draw wire cube wall check position dot position wall check size. And once that's created, you can see it here. You can position it. Unfortunately, when you select it, it doesn't appear. It only appears when you select the player. But you can move it around with this, and then you can resize it with the wall check size. So if I do that, as you can see, I can manipulate the x as well as the y. So I'm just going to do that. So that was the wall slide. So that's just, oops. It's not working. Oops. So that's just the sliding part. So in order to implement the jumping part, I'll start by explaining under the update. She did it a little bit differently. I used the input of the jump button, which is the spacebar. So if input get button jump, it's the same as like a regular jump from the ground, but I added different conditions. The regular jump has to be grounded and is not wall sliding. Mine I just put is wall sliding. And as soon as the jump is pressed while it's wall sliding, the animator set bool is jumping, which is basically the same as like a regular jump. I didn't add any new jumps. I'm using like the regular ground jump, but it's the is grounded, which is setting the condition of true or false. So my is grounded is set by anything that my character collides with. So if I go to the bottom, I just have a private void on collision enter 2D. So it's basically anything that it collides with. This box collider. It doesn't specify any layer. So it doesn't matter if it's like a ground or a wall. So if it's wall sliding, it's colliding with the wall at the same time. So the is grounded is true automatically. So as soon as I press the jump button and this is true, then the jumping animation plays, and as it falls, it plays the falling animation. As wall jumping is set to true, RB velocity, new vector 2, wall jump direction. I had to put negative on mine. The tutorial that I watched didn't have a negative sign, but for some reason I had to put a negative sign on mine. In times by walljump_power.x and walljump_power_y. In here I set it to 0.49, 0.03, but in the actual game I put both to 50 because these values weren't strong enough. So x is basically in the direction of the jump. Wall jump timer set to 0, and if transform.localscale.x does not equal wall jump direction, then basically like this here makes the character face the other direction. So I have another one right here, flip sprite, and this one is when I'm not wall jumping. This is just like when he's like walking on the ground. So this flip sprite is constantly firing as long as it's not wall jumping. And where is it? Alright, so it's whenever I put in one of the inputs, left or right, walking left or right, then is facing right equals is not facing right. Vector 3 ls for local scale equals transform.localscale localscale.x times equals -1, and transform.localscale equals local scale. So I'm doing the same thing here. Up here, but I'm just calling it in a separate place. So whenever I press the jump button, the direction that he's facing changes. So when he's on the wall, he's facing the wall, but as soon as I press jump, he faces the other way. And at the same time, I invoke name of cancel wall jump after wall jump time plus 0.1f. So this invokes this right here. His wall jumping equals false. And after that, I'm constantly the update is constantly triggering process jump, which is this right here. So it's constantly checking to see if is wall sliding is true. If it is true, then is wall jumping is false. The wall jump direction is being set, and it's set to -transform.localscale.x. and wall jump timer equals wall jump time, and then this cancel wall jump, which I just showed you. Oh yeah, this one right here is canceled, so I'm canceling the invoke, which was invoked up here when the jump button was pressed. If it's not wall sliding and wall jump time is greater than 0, so when you see is wall sliding in the first if statement, it's actually implied in the else if, and if it's in the else if, it means it's the opposite of this, so it is not wall sliding, and wall jump time is greater than 0, then wall jump timer is minus equal to time dot delta time. That's pretty much it. Let me just check. Oh, for the movement, so up here I have the horizontal input equals the input of the horizontal, which is the A or D key, or left or right key, and it's being stored as this horizontal input, and that horizontal input is used here. Basically, it tells the script, tells the game whether I'm running left or right, or whether I'm walking or running, and all this is happening only if is while jumping is false. So none of those left-right inputs are functional if I'm all jumping. And I hope that makes sense. So now I'm going to go show you one more time what it looks like. So if I jump on the wall, jump on the wall, whoops, jump on the wall, press jump again, then it turns the other way. I can keep on doing it. Okay, so that's basically it. I hope I explained that well. If there's any questions, if that wasn't clear, if it was too complicated, you can leave a comment if you'd like. If not, you can go straight to this channel, Game Code Library. Yeah, I'm going to be pretty honest about like where I get all my code, because the whole point of everything, as I've mentioned in previous videos, is just to see like what my artwork looks like when I implement it into the game and add all the script. I'm not pretending to be like a professional coder or anything. I'm just taking code that I find elsewhere and plugging it in to see how it looks with my artwork and my animations. So I hope that was helpful, and please stay tuned because I'm going to have more videos coming up. Okay, thanks.